What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me again. Today we're going to be taking a look at the ColaBox L2 Plus, which is a new contender in the Android streaming box space. And this runs on Android 14. If you've seen any of my past streaming box reviews, you know how I feel about Android 14. It's quicker, faster, snappier, and anyone who's doing this running on Android 14 is doing it right. Now, of course, I'm going to save you guys some money as usual. Make sure you use promo code SCANTRON5K at checkout. That's going to save you guys some money on your ColaBox order. Do not forget to use your promo code. This bad boy is preloaded with tens of thousands of TV series, movies, premium channels, endless IPTV, live TV, 7-day playback, all the goodies that you would expect from an Android streaming box that comes fully loaded. We're gonna find out if the juice is worth the squeeze. Now, if any of you are new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe. It greatly helps me bring more content to all of you. I do my best to bring all sorts of tech, man cave, home arcade, game room stuff straight to you guys so you guys can have a first look before you make a decision to buy. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and unbox the ColaBox, see what's inside, go over the specs, plug it in, and see what she's all about. Okay, let's talk specs on the ColaBox L2 Plus. So we can already see right here, we're running on Android 14. And then if we flip over to the other side, you do see you have that 12-month warranty on that. Anything goes wrong, you guys reach out, go ahead and take advantage of that 12-month warranty. Now here we have our actual box itself. You can see it's still nicely in the packaging here. Now, not only does this box run on Android 14, which is one of my favorite features, snappier and faster, we have a GK63 quad-core 64-bit ARM Cortex-A55 processor. GPU is a Mali 450. We got 4 gigs of RAM, and we have 64 gigs of onboard storage. Resolution is up to 4K Ultra HD at 60 FPS. Video decoding is HDR10+, H.265 hardware decoding. Audio is Dolby Digital, DD+ pass-through, optical, SPDIF or SPDIF. Connectivity is Wi-Fi dual band, 2.4 gigs and 5G. That's Wi-Fi 6 supported. Ethernet, we have 8 gigabit Ethernet speeds at the Ethernet port. Bluetooth 5.0. We have 2 extra antennas on the back of this bad boy for longer range. Okay, here we go. Got a nice gold logo on the top there. You can see we do have our long range antennas on the back. I don't necessarily use these, but you can leave them folded up just the same if it's not your thing. Let's take a look at the front. We have a little display screen here. Nothing on the left side, nothing on the right side. So you can see all of your ports are on the back. So from left to right, we have your optical audio output. We have your audio video input in case you want to plug in RCA cables or what have you. HDMI port, and then we have our micro SD slot. We have 2 separate USB ports on the back as well. Here's your Ethernet, and then we have a 12-volt 1-amp wall adapter input right here. And that's pretty much all there is to it. All in all, it's pretty much the same size as any other Android streaming box, but what's important is what's on the inside. All right, let's see what else comes in the box here. We got some goodies. First and foremost, we have our HDMI cable in case you do not have one. We have our remote. So this one is a little bit more robust than the ColaStick. You can see we actually have number keys here. Let's go ahead and take it out of the bag. All right, so here is our remote. Now, what I will say about this remote is my only gripe is it's not backlit. However, it is a bit bigger than your normal Fire Stick or anything like that, and it's a lot easier to use than those really compact sticks. So all the buttons are nicely separated. It has a good feel to it. There's no wasted space here. Got your hotkeys at the top, got your voice assistant right here, your directional keys, your home button, volume up and down, channel up and down, or you can use up and down on the directional keys. But nothing seems to get in the way. Some of these other remotes I've used, the buttons are so close together, especially if they're compact, that you're accidentally pressing stuff all the time, which I can't stand. Of course, we have our wall adapter here. Everybody knows what a wall adapter looks like. And last but not least, we have our ColaBox L2 Plus manual. Very short as they tend to be because there really isn't much to know. All you gotta do is plug it in and she plays. Very intuitive. If you need to check back on any FAQs or anything, there is a little manual for you guys to go ahead and do that. Let's get it plugged in and get to the nuts and bolts of what we really want to see here. We have our ColaBox plugged in and powered on. You can see I only have the HDMI cable and the power adapter plugged into the back. We are all good to go. All right, so here we are on the ColaBox L2 Plus Home Hub. And you can see that we have a couple levels of apps that we can get into. Really, all you're gonna focus on is if you wanna pin your favorite apps to the top. And if we hold over to the left using our handy dandy ColaBox remote, it's gonna bring up this menu on the left so you can see your favorite apps, go to the recommendation, all of the apps that are downloaded onto the box, and your settings. So if we hit to the right, we can just go across. This will get you to all your apps, your network settings if you need to mess with that, display settings, file explorer. You're likely not going to use a lot of this stuff. Your upgrade will be prompted automatically, but if you want to check for them from time to time, you can go here. And as we take a look at device info, you can see at the very top, we are running the L2 Plus. And at the very bottom, we have 4 gigs of RAM and storage is 64 gigs. So first things first, it's very important to know that whether you are running the ColaBox L2 Plus or if you are running the ColaStick V1 Plus, it does not matter because this interface is exactly the same and runs exactly the same. So it's installed with the same apps that you would get, which is going to be your Live Plus and your VOD Plus. At the very top, let's go ahead and pin the 2 favorite apps that we want. It's, you know, it's redundant, but if you want them right at the top, let's hit that plus button. We're gonna choose Live Plus for the first one. And if we hit it again, we're gonna choose VOD Plus at the very top. These are the only 2 apps that you are ever gonna mess with, but if you want to, you could head on down to the Google Play Store where there are millions of apps that you can download, or you can sideload your own apps and APKs if you'd like to do so. It's honestly a lot more than you need to do, but the option is there if you'd like to do it. So for all intents and purposes, we're just gonna take a look around here in Live Plus to start. So let's go ahead and launch that app. I'm going to have to blur a lot of things in this video. You guys know how this goes. It's licensed content. I cannot show you movies and premium TV things and this and that on YouTube. So I will blur it enough so that you can see what's going on and give you the high level. But the notice board at the top, that is just something that comes on by default. And you can see right here. So it starts at the top. Every sport you can imagine, all the way across, every type of sport that you could possibly want to watch. Now I'll get into the guide in a moment, but I'm just going to give you the high level of what you're going to see. You can favorite channels, all those things, news, locals, all that stuff. Movies, this is going to be everything, premium, Cinemax, HBO, all the stuff that you could possibly want. Entertainments, this is going to be your A&E, reality TV, Adult Swim, AMC, AHC, Animal Planet, Kids and Family. More local down here, not just news, this is more of your local stations. International, 24/7, so there are a ton of 24/7 channels if you want to watch. Let's say it's the same movie or same TV series or same TV show over and over without stopping. That's what 24/7 category is. ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, got the CW, PBS, Telemundo, F1, FIFA, Fight, Golf, Hockey, MLS, MILB, MLB, Motorsports, NBA, NCAA, NFL, NHL, Soccer, and again, we got pay-per-view, all the good stuff, tennis, WNBA, ESPN Plus, more pay-per-view, Big Ten. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. We got Flow Sports at the very bottom. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna head back up to the top. Let's choose a channel. I'm gonna go to A&E. And you can see that loads lightning fast. Of course, I have to keep this blurred, you guys. So let me go ahead and make sure that volume is turned down on this TV. Now we have volume control in this box. So on the bottom left, you're gonna see it's got the volume up and down there. It pops up on the right side of the screen. And then channel up and down is gonna be on the bottom part of the remote where you're gonna hit channel up and down right here. So if we wanna go down another channel, we can see we have AWE on. So let's get into the menu. All we're gonna do is pop this center button in on the remote. So at the bottom we have our guide and you can see we can go all the way down through. And on the left side, if we hold left, that's going to categorize which type of channels we want to go to. And you can see favorite channels right here. I have already favorited HGTV just because I was messing around on it. So let's go back into entertainment. All right, so when we are on a channel, let's say we want to make it a favorite. We're going to go ahead and hit this hamburger menu icon right here next to the directional pad, and that is going to bring up this menu. So this says collected. You can choose remove from favorites or collect this channel. So let's go ahead and collect this channel. That's going to make it a heart, and now it is a saved channel. So we can just go ahead and hit that back button there, and we'll be back in the guide. Pop that center button again, and we're back on the guide. Let's say we want to make Adult Swim one of our favorite channels. Let's go to the channel. And as you can see, that ripped on insanely fast. We're going to hit that little hamburger button again, given our menu, collect this channel. So now I have set a couple of favorite channels. So when we go back into the guide, by pushing the center button on the remote right here, we are going to be able to hold left, go up, and we can go to our favorite channels, and look at that right there, our favorite channels. So that just helps keep things nicely compartmentalized so you can easily get back to your favorites. Now, when we are in our favorites on the Live Plus, if we select one of those channels, we can just hit up and down on the remote, and that is going to take us only through our favorites category. So it's going to take us back and forth to the favorite channels that we've selected. There are thousands of channels in other countries and languages, and you can easily get back to any category you want by holding left on the remote and choosing which category you would like to go to down the left side. Speaking of 24/7 channels, head on over to here. You got Family Guy that runs 24/7, Harry Potter, Rick and Morty, Simpsons, Star Wars, Big Bang, Walking Dead, Friends, Office, Lord of the Rings, all that stuff. Now, back on the Live Plus app, there is one thing I want to talk about, and that is going to be your 7-day playback. So I'm right back here in my favorite channels. Let's go ahead and choose A&E, for example. And once we get that up, we're going to pop in that center button again, bring up our guide, hit to the right, and then you can see we have the dates across the top. So it says today is June 30th. Let's head over to a previously aired episode. We can actually hold left, and it's going to keep going back. Let's go to something yesterday. So we have an episode of Alaska State Troopers, right? So now we can go back 2 days ago, and we can start an episode of Alaska State Troopers. You can see it immediately loaded. So now we have full fast forward, rewind, pause capabilities, just like you're using DVR. And you can enjoy 7-day playback on any channel that supports it. There are a ton of them that support 7-day playback. That's a very important feature for those of you who are really looking for DVR capabilities. That's pretty much the gist of everything we are working with here. Let's head back home. When we head on over to settings, we're going to go down here and you're going to see extra settings. Now, when we choose extra settings, we have an auto startup app, so you can set your launcher. I am a big fan of this. So let's go ahead and choose that. I already have it set to Live Plus because I was messing around with it. But this means whatever you turn your box on, it is going to jump immediately into the app of your preference. And in my case, I'm going to choose Live Plus. So if I choose that, it is now set. So let's go ahead, head back home. And when we power the box down and turn it on, you'll see that it is automatically up and running on Live Plus. So let's do that right now. We're going to power down. All right, so we are now powering back up. I just hit the power button. Look how fast that came up. We are back on live TV on the last channel we were watching, and we are right back where we left off. So I really like this feature. I love it on the other boxes that I've reviewed, and this one is also a contender as far as having some of these options. All right, so that's going to give you the high level of the Live Plus. So if you are a live TV watcher, the possibilities are endless, and you can basically watch anything you want, anytime you want to watch it, and it's all live, as is live TV or cable anywhere else. You just have your pick of the litter. Let's head over to VOD Plus, which is going to be the place where likely a lot of you are going to be hanging out. So now that we are on VOD Plus, of course, I have to blur a lot of these things too, but the categories are all across the top. So if we hold up, you can see it's recommend. This is series right over the right. So there are thousands of series, full series for you to watch in here. Over to the right is movies. Again, tens of thousands of movies. And then it categorizes popular, kids, variety, documentary. But let's go ahead and head on over to series and see what we find. One of the first options here is Futurama. Let's go ahead and click on Futurama. So it gives you a little note right there. Holding down on the remote gives you quality and speed. Let's actually do that right now. So we can get to our progress bar. We have audio track. It gives you the video quality. This is only available in 1080. You can turn on closed caption. You can fast forward the speed if you'd like. You can adjust the aspect ratio. Let's head back out of here into something else. There are tons of things to choose from. It gives you new releases, top rated. You got Law and Order, late shows, action series, Deadpool, got your rom-com stuff, drama series, science fiction, thrillers, western. All right, now we're gonna head to the left. If you hold left and go up to search, you can go ahead and start typing in something. So we bring up that menu. And again, this is one of the things I like about Android 14 is this keyboard menu and everything it's a lot faster and snappier than using some of the Android 12 products. So kudos to the Android 14 aspect here. Let's type in Landman, and I'm gonna use the remote, no voice, because it's fast and I'm just gonna do it the way that anyone else would normally do it if you're not using voice. All right, so there's Landman. We're gonna choose Landman. Now this actually runs in 4K. So let's go ahead and run an episode here and I will show you that it is running in 4K. You're gonna have to look through the blur, but you will get the point. All right, video quality here, bottom right. You can see 4K. We are running in 4K. This picture is fantastic. It is fast. That's what I like about Android 14 in conjunction with the processor that this box is using. Fast forward, rewind, whatever you want to do. So now we are back on the VOD Plus home. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the movies that we have in here. So it's got, again, recommended. It's got top 10 movies this month. We have The Punisher, Chernobyl, War Machine, Mortal Kombat 2, one of my favorites in there. New releases, top rated, cinema premieres, Oscar winning, yada, yada, yada. This is a fantastic product. I actually think they've done a good job. Hopefully in future releases, maybe we can get a backlit remote, but other than that, I'm not really gonna stress over it too much. Let's take a look at popular. One of the first things off the rip, we have Avatar, The Forge. What else we got in here? Gladiator 2, comedy. Hey, we got artistic violence, little Kill Bill. We have true stories category. This is actually a really cool category. If you're into true story movies, this is where you're gonna wanna hang out. Global crime and classics, space exploration. Apocalypse and survival, Transformers saga, Marvel superheroes universe, DC heroes series. And again, you can choose the search option and find anything that you want to watch. If you'd like to use the internet speed test, that's an option. If you'd like to log into Netflix, I don't think there's a need for it, but if you want to, that's completely up to you. Like I said, you will likely not use a lot of these additional apps. It will just be your Live Plus and your VOD Plus. This thing is jam-packed with tons of content. You will never get bored. Stream until your heart is content, guys. This is definitely a contender in the newer line of some of these Android streaming boxes. I think the ColaBox and the ColaStick are both worth checking out, and they both use the same exact interface, so it doesn't matter if you're on the go or if you want to leave one planted right at home base. Pick your poison, you can't go wrong. This is definitely a box to consider if you're in the market for buying an Android streaming box for yourself. All right, gang, that's going to wrap up today's review on the ColaBox L2 Plus. You let me know in the comments if this is something you might want to add to your arsenal. It's jam-packed with tons of content, endless entertainment, new, old, everything in between. If you guys are thinking about getting a ColaBox for yourself, make sure you use promo code SCANTRON5K at checkout. That's going to save you guys some money. And again, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you do. I appreciate all the love and bringing content to you guys through the years, and I plan to do a lot more of it. Until next time, gang, let's lose.